Welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. First week into 2021 and it's already been a busy one. Quite a few little jobs have been done around the farm and it's been a really good week. We started by adding pipes to the current tank setup. We'd had the tanks installed last year and they are full thanks to a lot of rain. And what I'd been doing to water my veggie garden up until now was to grab a couple of watering cans, fill them up at the tanks, and then carry them around to the other side of the shed to do the watering. So this took a little bit of hard work, lots of carrying, and quite a few trips back and forth. What we've done now is we've got an adapter on the tap for the tank. So it has three individual taps that you can turn on and off, and then pipes running from each of those so that we can have water at different points around the shed. So one now has been run to the corner near where the vegetable garden is. One has been run up to the corner where the roller doors are so that we can use water up at that end. And then there is the connection at the tank. So we ran all of the piping. We just need to dig in the black pipe now. And then I will have a hose with a trigger and everything that will be able to run from the corner of where my workshop area is, and I can easily water my garden. Now we did that on quite a warm, sunny day, but since then there's been no need to water. It has been raining quite a bit. It's been humid, but there has been a lot of rain. So one of my Christmas presents has already come in very handy. I didn't think I would be needing to use these quite at this time of year, but I got these really cool gumboots, which I requested because I wanted a pair that were quite cute, but also functional as well. So I've been getting a lot of use out of that present already this year. Another job that needed doing around the shed is finishing the stairs up to my workshop space where my sliding doors are, which is where I brought you in when I gave you the tour of the workshop. Now I'd done the path almost all the way up to the area where I was going to put the steps. And then I wasn't sure how I was going to create the stairs. It's quite a rise in the land up to where the doors are. And I'd kind of dug around a little bit trying to play with it, but I hadn't got it quite right yet. So I'd stopped the path a bit early because I wasn't sure if I needed to graduate the ground down a little bit more to create a little less steep, or if I was able to, with what was there, create a couple of stairs. So when I actually got down to doing it, it wasn't anywhere near as complicated as I thought it might have been. I used two of the old fence posts, so it's nice that they now have another use within the space around the farm, again combining the old with the new, and put them on a bit of an angle and was able to just sort of dig in a little bit and move some of the dirt around to make two stairs, and with a sort of a landing right at the top. And I'm pretty pleased with how it's come out. I do need to let it settle a little bit more and potentially put a bit more soil in around it just to level everything out. And then I'm going to cover it with the same gravel that I've already made for the path, and then put, I think, a big concrete square tile right outside the door as a sort of a landing area, and so that there is not mud and dirt just as you step in and out of the workshop. I'm also really pleased with the progress of the veggie garden. The tomatoes are looking fantastic. They've really grown and there are plenty of little flowers on them now and the beginnings of some fruit. There was one stray tomato that had already ripened up, so I just picked that off and ate it directly from the bush, and it was delicious. So I'm really excited for the rest to grow. We've got some little baby cherry tomatoes, which will be great for salads, and then some Romas and some other larger varieties, which hopefully I will be able to make some relish or some sauce out of as well. Also, some of the zucchinis have started to ripen. So I've already picked and used a couple of those, and they were really yummy as well. Such a different flavor to what you get from in the store. I tried a little bit raw and then I popped it into the dal that I made for dinner, and it was really good. So there's still plenty of smaller ones that are growing on there, and I'm thinking that I might leave some to grow a little bit bigger and hopefully make some like zucchini pasta with that. It's always nice to have that with some tomato sauce. So maybe I can make a whole dinner just out of that one little veggie patch. As I've mentioned before, we lease our land to a farmer who runs cattle. So we always have different versions of cows here. There's a couple just recently who have given birth to calves. So we've been watching them quite closely from the day that they were born, staggering around in the paddock, to now frolicking and playing with each other, which is quite cute. A few weeks ago, I was talking to you about finding a new sock yarn base to replace the gumboot sock yarn base that I had, which has changed its makeup. So the one that I had been experimenting with, I'm now happy to say I have chosen as the new base. It is a 75% Australian merino, 25% nylon. It's beautifully soft. I've been working with it in some knitting, in some crochet, and I'm really pleased with how it knits up and how it crochets up, and it is super soft, but also it looks like it will be quite hard wearing as well, and it takes color really well. So it is the base that I have dyed up my samples of my new colorways Hangover and Fresh Start on, which are now available in the shop as a dyed to order. So you can get it either on my Harvest DK base, so an 8-ply, or you can get it on the 4-ply, which is my new sock base, which I'm calling Lattice Sock. So now that I have discontinued gumboot sock, I have some skeins of it that are dyed up, some leftovers, I guess. So I have decided to try and clear that out. So if you're after a bargain, check out the sales section of my website and you'll see that I have discounted all of the gumboot sock that I have in stock. So that might be a chance to grab some yarn now and get knitting over this summer period on some socks. To start 2021, I cast on a fresh pair of socks. As I tend to do, I pretty much always have socks on the needles, so I've started another stripy pair for myself. These are, it's On Your Toes, which is a 4-ply with aloe vera. It's a 75-25 wool. And it's just nice, fun and bright. And I've already got a couple of pairs of socks that I've made with this quite a while ago now, and they've worn really well. So I thought I'd make a couple more, particularly for wearing around the farm, making them a bit longer so I can put them inside gumboots. I've also made quite a bit of progress on my Maui Tayo pullover. It's quite scrunched up, so it's a bit difficult to see. I've done a fair bit more on the body, so I've split for the sleeves and knit some more on the body, and then I decided that I will work the sleeves before I go back and finish the length of the body. So I'm knitting them 2 at a time. That's why it's kind of a bit scrunched up. That way I don't have to worry if I don't mark off something properly on the sheet as I'm going along. I can just mirror each sleeve as I go, and I don't really have to count where I put the decreases in. I'm hoping that I have enough of the green to get the sleeves the length I want and the body the length I want. But I figure that my priority will be the sleeves, because I do want it to be a long sleeve jumper. And then what I can do is work on the body, and if I need to add some additional of the purple to get the length I want, then I can do that as I go. But I find that when I make a jumper, I need to do the sleeves before I do the body, because when you do the sleeves it kind of pulls it up a little bit. So if you haven't got the sleeves done and then you think you've got the body the right length, but when you put them in, it kind of alters everything a little bit. So I sort of start with a crop jumper and long sleeves and then figure out the length. The other thing that I have done a little bit of work on this week is my granny stripe blanket. I have added in hangover, and next I will put in fresh start to add to the other of my colours that are in this blanket so far. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.